This is Daniel. He's 30 years old. He makes decent money. Not amazing money, not terrible money. And every morning, he asks himself the same question. Am I already behind? Some of his friends are buying homes. Others are driving luxury cars. People online claim they're making thousands trading stocks and crypto. Meanwhile, Daniel is sitting in a small apartment on a Tuesday night, trying to decide if investing another $500 this month is even worth it. Because honestly, $500 doesn't feel life-changing, and that's exactly why most people never become wealthy, because in the beginning, wealth building feels invisible. Every Friday after payday, Daniel buys the same thing, VOO, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. No stock picking, no day trading, no trying to beat Wall Street, just consistency. One friend asked him, "That's it? You're just buying an index fund?" Daniel shrugged. "Yeah." His friend laughed. "That sounds boring." And honestly, Daniel agreed. At first, his account barely moved. After months of discipline, the portfolio still looked small. And psychologically, this is where most people quit. Because human beings are wired for immediate rewards, not delayed gratification. After almost a year of investing, Daniel stared at his phone one night and thought, I've been doing this for months, and it still feels like nothing is happening. But something important was happening, something he couldn't see yet. He was building proof that he could trust himself, proof that he could think long-term, proof that he could sacrifice today for a better future. And that mindset would eventually become more valuable than the money itself. 5 years later, Daniel is still investing, not perfectly. There were months when money felt tight, unexpected bills, car repairs, moments he wanted to stop completely, but the automatic investment kept happening. Every month, $500. One coworker asked him, "You're still investing right now? The market's terrible." Daniel looked at him and said, "Maybe that's exactly why I should keep buying." Because something in his mindset had changed. For the first time, Daniel stopped seeing market crashes as disasters. He started seeing them as opportunities. While most people panicked, he quietly kept buying more shares. And one night, during a market downturn, Daniel had a strange realization. Future me is going to be grateful I didn't quit. Then, one morning, something changed. Daniel opened his investment account before work and froze. $100,000, 6 figures. Not from gambling, not from luck, not from some miracle stock pick. Just consistency, patience, discipline for years. Daniel leaned back in his chair and quietly said, "I actually did it." And strangely, nothing about his life looked dramatically different. Same apartment, same routines, same normal life. But internally, everything had changed. Because for the first time in his life, money was beginning to work harder than he was. And suddenly, the future didn't feel so intimidating anymore. Daniel stared at the screen and thought, if this became 100,000, what happens if I just keep going? At 40 years old, Daniel felt different, not rich, secure, and there's a huge difference between those two things. One friend told him, "You seem calmer lately." Daniel smiled. "I think it's because I don't feel trapped anymore." That's the hidden benefit of investing nobody really talks about. Yes, the money matters, but the emotional freedom matters more. Because slowly building assets changes the way you move through life. You stop making decisions from panic. You stop tolerating things you hate. You stop feeling desperate all the time. And eventually, Daniel realized something important. I don't need to get rich tomorrow anymore. By 50, the machine was fully running. Some years, Daniel's portfolio grew more than his salary did when he was 30. And suddenly, all those ordinary little investments didn't seem so ordinary anymore. Daniel laughed to himself one afternoon. I spent years thinking the first few $100 didn't matter. But now he understood the truth. Those first investments mattered the most. Because they built the habit, and the habit built the future. That's the strange thing about compounding. At first, it feels painfully slow. And then one day, it feels almost unfair. At 60 years old, Daniel looked at the screen in disbelief. After investing $500 every month for 30 years, his portfolio had grown to over $1 million. Not from gambling, not from chasing trends, not from timing the market, just consistency. Month after month, year after year, decade after decade. Daniel looked back at the life he built, and the truth is, it was never really about becoming rich. It was about becoming free. Free from constant financial stress. Free from paycheck to paycheck thinking. Free from feeling like one mistake could ruin everything. And the craziest part? It never felt dramatic while it was happening. That's how real wealth usually works. Quietly, slowly, almost invisibly, until one day, you realize the small choices changed your entire life. Most people underestimate what small disciplined actions can become over 30 years, because the market doesn't reward excitement. It rewards patience, and sometimes the most powerful financial strategy in the world is simply refusing to quit.